After Alien, Ridley Scott created the most influential dystopia of the 80s, the rain-sodden city of Blade Runner.
If we have a machine in Britain, sooner or later, it's going to go wrong. We're quite cynical about the uses and possibilities of technology. And so when a British director like Ridley Scott goes to America and does a science fiction film, we end up with something like Blade Runner, a very, very dystopian view of the possibilities of technology. Technology goes wrong, society goes wrong, everything goes wrong.
One of the key things, obviously, about Blade Runner is the visual sense, the way in which it has these big, science fictional, in the old-fashioned sense, big gleaming buildings with tons and tons of lights on them. But then, almost like panning down from there towards a more gritty urban street environment, which looks recognizably like it is today.
The dirty technology of Blade Runner is very British. This vision of the city skyline is inspired by the ICI plant in Redcar, near where Ridley Scott grew up.
The city, for me, conjures up somewhere in between Croydon on a rainy day and Tokyo of the future. It is a very British kind of view of the future. It's smoky, it's rainy, it's wet, it's grimy. It's quite a lot like the London of the Winter of Discontent of 1979 as well. There's loads of rubbish piled up everywhere and people squatting. But the posh people live up high and don't ever have to see any of this stuff.
The most terrifying dystopian idea of Blade Runner comes straight from the speed-addled mind of its original creator, Philip K. Dick. It's that, in the future, there'll be no difference between us and machines.
The robots, which you would think would be the most science-fictional element of it, aren't shining bits of metal. They look exactly like humans. In fact, the whole point of the film is the fact that the robots are indistinguishable from humans, which is, again, one of the first and certainly most seminal times where you start to see this blurring of the distinction between what is human and what is machine.
And where does this technological perfection get us? It gets us into psychosis of the android. They become violent, unpredictable, and extremely scary.